Here we go. Early morning tea time, Hunter's Ranch. Beautiful little fog. Going low. All right, Eric. Welcome back to another episode of Grading the Greens. How you been?
Been doing well, Rich. How about you?
Been good, man. Been good. It's been a while since we've been out here. I think that we may have incurred a second fan, if I read correctly in the comments, but they could be gone. I don't know. We're not throwing them out there like we used to.
Yeah, that's okay. It's quality, not quantity.
Absolutely.
But what better way to kick off the first day of fall and Ryder Cup week than to get behind the mics and share a little bit about our recent trip?
Yeah, listen. So we actually did something a little different. We got to actually play a little golf together for just kind of a one-off weekend, which was really great. So today we're gonna bring you a review of Hunter's Ranch, but we're gonna do it a little different because we played together, which I'm really excited about, and that was really nice to kind of get out with you and play some golf together. We don't get to do that nearly as much as we should, but Central California is a great place to meet up, wine country, and so we'll tell you a little bit about our adventures over here at Hunter's Ranch. So
yeah, let's do it. So
all right.
So for those who don't know, Hunter's Ranch, Paso Robles. There's a lot of debate. Is it Robles or Robles or Robles?
Oh, Robles.
Robles or Robles. A local told me it's Robles, but seems like it's Robles. But we'll go with Robles. Locals know all, I guess.
Yeah, we'll just believe them.
Yeah,
We don't know enough.
So me living in the Bay Area, Richie from SoCal, it's a natural place to meet up and play golf. We've been talking about it for 4 years. This was the first time it's ever occurred. So yeah, and we kicked it off with a stop at Hunter's Ranch.
Yeah, actually, I've actually played Hunter's Ranch before. That wasn't my first time out at that course, and actually was really I think very similar. Like I think we've kind of played it in the fall of last year, so about the same time. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, there's a few courses up in the Central Coast area that are popular, and we've kind of picked this one, and we're going to kind of go through a review for you of just our 10 categories and what we thought. We don't want this to go on forever. I know people have lives, and we want to get through our podcast and get to the kind of the meat potatoes of it. So just as a reminder, as a refresher, we do 10 categories. We in this episode are each going to have a grade for each category, and then we'll average it out, and we'll come to a conclusion, give you as much insight as we can, some of the things that we liked about the course, some of the things we didn't. And as always, we are happy to hear feedback from our one or two fans. If you played the course, or if you're hearing this for the first time, feel free to drop some information into the comments. So with that, Eric, let's get going.
One other comment too. If anybody is aware of other courses in the Central California coast that are must plays, let us know. This was the only round we played together. I played at Morro Bay twice after this, and that'll be coming up on a future episode. But if there's any other recommendations, let us know, because hopefully this won't be the last time we get to meet up and play. So
yeah, I think
right.
4 years from now we'll do it again. So let's get into this one. Let's get into this one. So Eric, our first category that we like to kick it off with is the clubhouse. So why don't you give me a little insight into your feelings, your thoughts on what Hunter's Ranch provided in the clubhouse?
Yeah, so this is where I really wish I had notes, because back in the day I could pretty much remember anything I needed to and recall as on demand. But when you get north of 40, the brain doesn't remember as much. I honestly can't remember that much about the clubhouse. So fantastic way to kick us off. I just remember everybody at this place being really nice.
Yeah.
They had plenty of gear, for a small size golf course. This is not I wouldn't call this like a resort course.
Mm-hmm.
I would call this like a higher end muni, lower end resort. Like
Mm-hmm.
they might think they're a resort course, but I don't think I don't really think of it as that. I think it'd be just a fantastic place to get out with buddies. And it's definitely above average when it comes to like the food and conditions, I would say. But Clubhouse, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
It was good. I think it had everything you need.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give it a 7. I thought it was pretty solid. Like logo balls, logo shirts, different brands. They sold, I think, a few clubs, but I think to your point, I think everybody, in the clubhouse was super nice, and everybody we kind of encountered was super nice too. So which was really cool because there's nothing worse than traveling and getting to a golf course, and then the guy behind the counter, lady
Yeah.
behind the counter, just not super interested in even you being there. So definitely
Yeah.
that.
I think yeah, I remember not quite knowing where to put my bag.
Yeah,
So I don't think there was a bag drop. I think we
yeah,
parked pretty close to the course or
yep,
the clubhouse, and then we kind of grabbed our clubs. It's kind of an old school, like it almost has like that like a Western feel, where
yep,
there's like a lot of like natural wood. You got like wood decking, but it's like old school. It's not
hmm
like a modern, it's well done. It's kind of unique, I would say. It does feel like you're like at an old ranch, right? It's a
yeah,
ranch. So I think they definitely play into the ranch theme. But yeah, I really had no idea where we put our bags. Um, I think we kind of like posted them up on the side of a
hmm
wall. I guess that's where they were supposed to go. But um, so a little bit of a miss on that. But um, oh, another thing, the views are really nice. You're at like this top of this hill, and you're kind of looking at all the starting some wine country there. So
yeah.
nice views from the top of the hill. So
Yeah, for sure. Great. It's a pretty good entrance. Pretty
yeah,
good entrance as you come
yeah,
in, and yeah, I really, to your point, I really kind of liked the whole ranch theme. It was kind of cool. The
yeah.
the walkway was all wood around the building. So I'm gonna,
Yeah.
in the interest of kind of transparency, you made this tea time, so there's really no point in me taking the alternate and talking about the tea time
Yeah,
when I didn't do a darn thing. So
yeah.
why don't you tell us what the tea time booking was like?
Tea time was pretty straightforward. I don't remember what website they used, but you go to their website and it's powered by, the UI is very
Mhm.
familiar. I don't really know who all the players are out there, but if you saw this one, it'd be something you've seen before. I think we were able to make times 15 days in advance, give or take.
Mhm.
Um, we had no problem finding a time on a Sunday. I think I did log in right at 15 or 14 days in advance to secure the slot, but plenty of times. So 8 out of 10.
All right, 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'll agree because I didn't have to do anything. So um,
Okay.
let's talk about the value of the course, Eric. So when we talk about just like your average golfer and you're getting out to play once or twice a month, especially like on a weekend, one of the big things is the cost, right? Like, what are you going to get
Yeah.
from the course and what's it going to actually cost you out of your wallet, right? And if I remember correctly, I think greens fees were like a buck 25 for the weekend, right? For a round.
I think
Yes.
I think 125 for this. I think that's right. I couldn't remember
Yeah.
if it was 125 or 140. I think it was 125. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, on the higher end, right? I'm not sure. I don't live in Paso, and I'm not certain what the economy is
Yeah.
like, or I don't remember what the other courses that I have played in the area charge. But it was definitely a hefty fee. I thought that the most of the amenities were all right. We'll kind of go through what you get
Yeah.
with your $125,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna, for me, I gave it a 7 out of 10 on the value, just because I thought
Yeah.
$125 is kind of on the higher end of what I usually am, comfortable paying for a weekend round.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I agree. I'll say a couple things on that. So they're definitely in wine country. Um, it's definitely a tourist destination. And so for that, I think you are definitely paying inflated prices versus what you would in Muni.
Mhm.
So if you're local, I'd be interested to know where the locals play. I'd be surprised if this was their go-to track, given the
Yeah.
price.
Yep.
Maybe there's discounts or memberships for the
Mhm.
local players, and I think at this price point, and we'll get to it in a bit, but I think where they fell short a bit is on the practice facilities. For this price point, I would generally expect, more manicured, just not high end, but solid practice
Hmm.
facilities for
Right.
that price point. And I and we'll get to that. But again, I'm actually going to give them a 5 out of 10 for
Okay.
value, just because I do think um, it is expensive for what it is.
Hmm.
I didn't have a problem paying it. I thought it was, we still had a good time. But if it was 85, like I think it should have been an 79 or $89 round.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's probably a good spot. So we'll call the average a value a 6 out of 10, um, and
okay.
we'll move on. Yeah. So
Okay.
the next topic is my favorite topic. It's the golf carts. And I just get a kick out of what people do with their golf carts and what they put on there and what they don't put on there and what they find important and what they don't. So I'm going to go ahead and let you kind of talk through what you thought about the golf carts, if you remember much from them, and then I'll kind of finish off.
I thought they were fine. They had coolers. The cooler fit my leftover breakfast burrito. So that was a plus. Uh, I think they had GPS on them.
Yeah.
Again, this is a note to future Eric. Please take notes when you play golf. Your memory's not as good as you think it is. So, I honestly took nothing away from the cards. So,
Yeah, so, for me, the carts, you kinda hit it. There's not a lot that has to, make a cart great. There just is a couple of things you have to have. One of them is the cooler, and the other is, GPS. Not that I'm gonna use your GPS and, even the scorecard that comes with it, but, like, I think that if especially if you're gonna charge $125, for some people who don't have rangefinders or just wanna know, like, the layout of the course because it's the first time they played, that's important. So they did have coolers. They did have GPS. There was no rips in the seats. We didn't have any issue with battery. I was completely happy. And so I gave it like a 9 out of 10 for golf carts. I don't know what a 10 out of 10 golf cart is, but this was like a 9 out of 10, which for me is
yeah,
just like the cart that has what you want.
yeah, yeah. That's fair. I'm gonna go 8 because I feel like if it was 9, I would remember something about it. So,
That's fair.
I think it's above average because it's probably clean. They're probably pretty new and
Yeah.
modern. But there's nothing special here.
Yeah.
So,
All right. All right. That's fair. That's fair. So, all right. So the next category that we're gonna grade out, and this one is interesting. I'm curious to get your feedback on this one.
dude,
Is the playability of this course,
yeah.
and we can kind of maybe talk about how it went for us, front nine, back nine, what we did, and just kind of talk through the course a little bit here.
It's a difficult
No.
driving course. There's there's a lot of undulation.
Hmm.
It's not a straightaway bomber's course. And it also forces a lot of the holes force a pretty sizable second shot.
Hmm.
So it's difficult. I would say it's harder than average, but fair. No two ski shots felt like they were the same.
Hmm.
So that's cool. You really have to, it's probably one of those courses where you're going to benefit from playing it a second time.
Hmm.
Um, Memory tells me the back nine was actually more difficult from a driving perspective. So you thought the front was hard. Wait till you get to the
Hmm.
back.
Yeah.
Um, let's see what else. Yeah, we took carts. Yeah, pretty narrow, tough driving course. Um, I think the rough and everything was pretty fair. Nothing too difficult there. So I'd say 7.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. So again, this was the second time I played the course, and so just so our couple of fans know what happened. We played the front nine, just stroke play, and we had a good time, but it was definitely rough, right? You don't really know the course very well, and to Eric's point, driving the ball, you need to be straight. If you hit the ball left or right, like you're going to be in trouble. I'm a big fan of a course that allows me to use multiple fairways on each hole. Right? If I'm on hole number 3, I would like to be able to use the fairway on 5 to get back to 3. That's what I think is fun.
By
Um,
by design, of course, right? By design.
of course, it's just the way, I'm playing the whole. I want options, right? It has nothing
Yeah.
to do with, a slice. But
Uh,
that being said, it caused me to want to hit like iron off the tee versus driver because if you're like me, it's no fun chasing balls left and right. To that point, the second nine we ended up playing like a two-man scramble. So we played with a couple other friends and we kind of partnered up and we played the back nine a two-man scramble, and that was still difficult. That was still challenging, even with two shots every time. It was difficult, and there were a lot of long approach shots into green. So yeah, it's like you said, trees kind of everywhere. Rough isn't bad. It's just kind of brush and dirt, and so I gave the playability a 10 or 7 out of 10, also just like you did. So
yeah, this is a course that you'll probably lose a few golf balls on.
yeah, hmm
If you don't, congratulations, but don't be surprised if you have at least one disappear into a canyon. It's not as targety as a lot of, especially Southern Californian golf
hmm
courses can be in those canyons, So it's not,
hmm
I wouldn't call it targety, but
yeah,
it's a tough driving course.
right,
So
for sure, for
I
sure.
it's targety adjacent.
Agree.
Yeah.
We're talking
Yeah.
to you, Tierra Rahada, if you're talking about targeting golf. So,
Yeah.
all right, Eric. So
Or
let's talk about
the
the
bridges in
the
San
bridges.
Ramon. Yeah.
That was that was so bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
all right, so let's talk about the greens, right? So we are grading the greens,
I
and let's talk
I
about them.
I think to me, this was the highlight. I
Yeah,
think they were a 9.
yeah,
They were pure. These things rolled just perfect. Um, uh, they weren't soft. They were
hmm
firm, but they weren't hard. But every putt on the greens was just like, wow, these things are rolling beautiful. So kudos to the superintendent and the grounds crew. These greens were uh, definitely worth that price point. Whereas fairways and you know some of the other areas like the tee boxes, some of the bunkers and stuff
hmm
was probably below that price point. The greens were spot on, so they're doing something right there.
yeah. I actually wrote a 9 out of 10. Also, I thought the same thing. It didn't help me in my putting, but it wasn't the Greens' fault. They were excellent, and even all the way through the all 18 holes, right? So it wasn't like you had a
Yeah,
mix of like 10 or 12 that were good, and there was some front like all the greens, two tiered, three
yeah,
tiered, the
yeah,
undulation. It was all true. There was no. I mean,
yeah,
kudos to them. I don't know if they have like a like fix your divot class every morning because like
yeah,
that. They really were nice, and we did see off fairly early, so maybe later in the day they're worse, but they do a good job.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and good call on the consistency. That those courses that always have a couple greens that are just funky. They look like they don't belong, right? Which one of
hmm
these don't belong? All the greens felt consistent, and they all had the
Yeah.
same feel and roll. Nothing felt out of place, so that
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah. Solid. Let's talk about the rest of the conditions, right? Let's talk about tee boxes, fairways, the sand. What do you think about the conditions overall, the rest of the course?
Um, n- Everything just felt a little below.
hmm
I think the greens, when you're on the greens, you're kind of like, yeah, this is the conditions that the course should be on,
hmm
and then everything else was below that. So if we're given, I want it somewhere between a 6 and a 7.
Yeah. hmm
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 6 because I think there were a couple of like bunkers where I was just
Yeah.
like, what is this? Like it just felt so out of place. I think the one on the bunker on 1,
Yeah.
like it's like up the left side. I don't know what they're doing. Like maybe that's not a bunker, maybe that's like a waste area. But that that was not a nice introduction to the course.
Yeah. I
It
think.
it almost felt like it was almost like ground under repair and they
Yeah.
just said, we'll get there next year.
hmm
Um, yeah, so I'm gonna say everything else was a 6.
Yeah. I agree. And to your point, I hit my first tee shot into that bunker. And I don't know if they need to fix the sprinklers because I was kind of up on the bank and it was wet and soggy, and I
Yeah,
hit my first shot and I was pretty dirty afterwards.
Yeah.
Not a great way to start the
Yeah.
round. So yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I actually gave the conditions a 6 as well, which is really interesting how
Yeah.
the greens can be so well kept and manicured. And then,
Hmm.
I don't know what the weather's like there. Maybe it's challenging. They have like a morning dew
Yeah.
that wets everything. So I'm not sure, but that's kind of our experience. So,
And to be, I don't know if we mentioned this, but we did play third week of August.
mhm,
So, this is Central California. It does get hot.
mhm.
It's not, it's not Southern California, high
It's not
desert hot,
coastal.
but and they're away from
Mhm,
the ocean, so they're not getting a ton of marine. So they probably see a lot of 90, high 90-degree
mhm,
days at this point. So maybe the grass has just started to go dormant a bit.
yeah,
Maybe in January, it's a little different conditions, or
mhm,
maybe March. I'd be interested to come back in March and see
yeah,
what the grass looks like. So we'll just make a note of that we
yeah.
played it in August to make sure we're giving them a fair share on or fair shake on overall course conditions. So
Oh yeah, of course. And when you're playing in, you have hot temperatures and stuff, you can have varying courses like
yeah,
shape depending on the month you're playing.
yeah.
So, um,
So what about the sand? I don't know that I was in a bunker.
yeah,
So
I know I hit
outside
the
of that,
one.
but outside of the morning where everything would be wet, like, do you remember being in a bunker in the afternoon? Like,
Trying to think if I was or not. I don't think I was in another bunker. The course is
yeah,
not riddled with them, right? I know. You know what? On three, one of the people in our group was in a bunker as well, and it was still a little rough. I know he flew the green on
that was the
that was the par three, and he flew the green on the back.
par three.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think it was in the
yeah,
best condition either. It wasn't
yeah,
as muddy though.
yeah,
I don't believe so. Maybe, like I said, maybe there's an error with the sprinkler
yeah,
design or something over in the
yeah,
first hole. But yeah, you're right.
yeah.
They're all a little rough. So
And
speaking of
again,
rough, yeah,
but I think that comes back to the price point too, right?
sure. Hmm.
For a buck and a quarter, anyways, most places I played, you're getting consistent conditions,
Hmm.
consistent, bunker, like good sand,
Hmm.
not Pebble Beach sand, but like
Right.
not caked hard pan mud
Hmm.
sand, right?
Right.
So again, like a little inconsistent with some of the bunkers. So
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, so
yeah,
let's go from conditions to practice facilities. We kind of mentioned this a little bit in the
yeah,
beginning. So I know that
yeah.
the putting green was kind of right by the first tee box. I think the one comment someone in our group made was like, "Can they not afford enough flags?" I think there was like two flags on the entire green, and so I don't know, like if that was like
Yeah,
just didn't cut the second tier didn't have the
yeah,
flags cut in or what. But what was kind of your
yeah.
overall
Or
thought?
well, perhaps they have flag bandits and they
Maybe.
can't. People like to steal them, but the actually one of my takeaways of this course was the practice tee.
Mhm.
Um, so the upside is that it had
Yeah.
grass, and many ranges in California on public courses are mats, which is no fun. And this course is Exhibit A on why having grass ranges is so
Mhm.
difficult,
Mhm.
given the volume of play that happens. This range was beat up.
Yeah.
This poor grass. It was having a hard time keeping up. And again, that could be because of the time of year,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
At the end of August, this grass may just not grow. I literally I don't know anything about
Yeah,
grass. Maybe
nothing.
I definitely need to educate myself. Because this grass it wasn't like we were hitting off dirt, but
Yeah.
this was very beat up. And the other thing I recall was you're kind of like hitting onto a hill,
Yeah.
and there were no markers that I can recall, maybe a couple,
Yeah.
but you had no idea where you were aiming. And
No.
so it was really just like hit it, see where it goes. But if you're trying to hit to a target or hit to
Mhm.
a spot, good luck. So I thought the practice tee was probably my least favorite part of the experience. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's interesting is I don't know anything about grass either, but one thing I noticed when there's like a grass range, there's a very large section of grass and they give relief to the front section by roping you off to the middle and then relief to the middle,
Right.
roping off to the back. And I didn't see that. I don't think that their space was large enough to maybe do that. And so maybe that was the problem. But you're
Yeah.
right. It's more of a, if you just want to swing a club before you're round, but you certainly aren't showing up there to like dial in your irons or your wedge play. There's
Yeah.
just no way
Yeah.
that you'd have to gun and find like like your own little marker on the grass. Like, how do you not have a flag
Yeah.
out there to mark off 100, 150, 200?
Mm.
So yeah, it was disappointing as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eric, I'm with you. I gave it a 4. I just don't think it was, it's not really a practice area. It's just an area to like a swing a club and not hit a car, right? That's really all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no cars. I think the cars are safe. I think,
Yeah.
although I think they are up on the right of the hill, so
Yeah.
big hitters might even be able to hit them.
Yeah,
So,
for sure, for sure. So,
and I don't, was there chipping? Were there, like, you talked about the putting green is up on top of the hill
up
near
on
the
top of the hill
clubhouse.
by the first
The
tee
range
box.
is down the hill quite a
Mhm.
ways.
Yep.
I don't remember if there's a chipping green or any like areas to practice bunker shots.
I don't recall one. That could have been, and maybe we just didn't see it, right? We didn't like really tour the entire
Yeah.
property. I thought we were there to a reasonable amount of time before our tee time, but it wasn't something that I generally think about like kind of warming up, especially
Yeah.
like on a
Yeah.
vacation round. But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing one.
Yeah.
Does not mean they don't have one.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, besmirch the
Yeah.
good Hunters Ranch name
Yeah.
if they put a lot of work
Yeah.
into a, chipping area.
Yeah. And we didn't have a ton of time. We ordered breakfast. We'll get to that in a second. That took a minute. And then it was probably 10 minutes that we had down there, right?
Yeah.
So it was 10 balls, 15 balls, something like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so that
yeah.
was the practice facility, a little disappointing. Again, you're
Yeah.
able to hit balls. At least they have a driving range, and then you have a putting green.
Yeah.
Maybe put a couple more
Yeah.
cups in there, so we have some options. But let's kind of
Yeah.
move on to
Yeah.
some of the
Yeah.
services into like the restaurant area. So I actually really
Yeah.
like the restaurant. I played twice
Uh,
now, and I actually think I had the same bartender guy both
yeah.
times, and I was really cool. I like the bar area.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
menu. It's a really nice setup. There's actually almost looks like a restaurant. I think you could probably go up there and have dinner if you wanted to. I'm not sure what the extent of their menu is. Like they had some stuff. I've had the burrito twice, so
Yeah.
my experience is limited in the menu. But kind of what was your feedback on the area?
I liked it a lot as
Yeah.
well. Second, so number one, the greens. Number two was the restaurant.
Yeah.
The guy, I wish I knew his name. Shout out
Mhm,
to younger gentleman, very
mhm.
friendly.
Yep.
Um, everybody ordered. He was very timely. Moved through as quick as he could, very fast. I think we all got burritos and like one like
Mhm.
a Gatorade. Nobody
Yeah.
nobody was drinking or
Yeah.
anything. But yeah, super friendly, plenty of places to sit, cool vibe in there.
Mhm.
Not gourmet food, but just the type of food you need at a golf course.
Yeah.
I I don't I think they actually might have a decent like lunch or dinner
Mhm.
menu. I didn't look at what that was. So
Mhm.
again, this was 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah.
basically a good breakfast burrito.
Mhm. That's really all
But
you want, right? I mean,
I yeah, I ranked it a 10 just because of how
uh,
friendly the guy was and how good the breakfast burrito was, and
mhm.
the decor inside was pretty fun.
Yeah, I actually gave it a 9 out of 10. I don't know what a 10 out of 10, I guess similar to the carts, right? Like what's like maybe if I said like that was the greatest breakfast burrito, it was like, on diners, drive-ins, and dives at a golf course. I don't know, maybe that's a 10 out of
Yeah,
10, but
yeah,
it really is. It's everything you want in a restaurant. I'm sure the lunch is great. I'm sure because I mean, if the breakfast burrito is really good, so if any that's any indication of what they're pumping out of that kitchen, you're probably in good hands to have lunch and maybe even an early dinner. But man, like this is what the second course in a row that we reviewed that there's just no cart service on the course. Like, what's going on there? Is that just like you can't find anyone to
I
make $250 in tips on a weekend? I don't understand what's going on.
yeah, I don't know. So cart service non-existent, at least on the Sunday we played.
Right.
Um, I'd say that's excusable for a muni,
Mm-hmm.
but not in a resort town
Mm-hmm.
where most people are probably on vacation.
Yep.
And most people, I mean, it's wine country, so most people are probably wanting to have a few. And to not even have the option on the course was
Right.
surprising.
Yeah, I was really surprised as
Um,
well.
so yeah, it's a goose egg. And it's an interesting point. I don't know if it's a labor shortage issue.
Yeah.
There are trends of like people not drinking as much,
Yeah.
especially younger people. So perhaps that's at play, but I don't think a lot of 25-year-olds are out on this
I
course.
was gonna
It's
say, I don't
probably
yeah, they're not paying
given the
$125 to
given
play.
given the given the price point is probably,
Mhm.
a little it probably skews a little older, but maybe I'm wrong. Um, but yeah, a big zero here,
Yeah, that's
unfortunately,
such a bummer too, 'cause that yeah.
which will obviously impact the score. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, um, now we kinda went through all of our categories. Why don't you tell me what your favorite hole was of the course?
yeah, so for me it was 10.
Yeah.
It's par four, elevated tee. I wasn't driving it all too well in the front. So I was, little taking my time a bit, really wanted to hit a good one. And sure enough, hit my best drive of the day thus
Mhm.
far. But just not knowing the course, you definitely, I don't even think you need driver. So I landed it on the fairway, went into the hazard. Oh, and this
Yeah.
was when we just started. We announced we were
Yep,
going to play scrambles.
yep,
So fortunately, my partner bailed me out. But yeah, I hit a great drive, and it was one of those. It's always fun to hit a good drive on an elevated tee.
yeah,
But yeah, just too much to juice. So you land on a obviously downhill, and then there's actually like a ravine or a pond that you have
right,
to carry. So you're gonna have just a short wedge in on your second shot, but the green's small,
yep,
and there's trouble right, trouble left, trouble short, trouble long.
yep,
So it's one of those like
yeah,
just kind of pray that you have a
mhm,
good second shot. But
yep,
it's very very scenic shot. So I like 10.
yeah. Yeah, so the first time I played it and this time so the first time I played it, my favorite hole was number 3, and it was really like, after playing 1 and 2, they're both par 4s, playing a little dogleg right, a little dogleg or left and right. But you kinda get up to the tee box on 3 and you have a view for the first time of, like, the vineyards, right? You're right along a vineyard to the right of you, you can see across the highway, and for me, it was like, "Oh, this is really cool." Like, this is the first spot that I have, like, a view of, what I would consider kinda wine country in Paso Robles. So, yeah, for me, number 3, and, I think I hit a pretty good shot, so maybe that also helps as to why it was my favorite hole. So, yeah, but
Yeah, it's
there's
a
a few
good
good
view,
holes.
and
Yeah,
you're
it's a
right,
good
Rich.
view. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
like welcome to wine country. You can see the
Right.
vineyards. You don't see that at all courses, so it's a unique view from there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So
So
so we've kinda done
get the cameras out.
yeah, absolutely. We've kinda done our 10 categories, giving you our favorite hole. Right about now, we usually like to just talk about, what we're thinking about in golf, what we're seeing in golf, what we're doing, personally in golf. I think we mentioned last time we're about, 3 weeks away from a great Bandon trip we've been planning for 2 years, but kinda tell me, Eric, what's on your mind in the world of golf right now?
All right. So in our gimme segment,
Yeah.
my recommendation is the Ryder Cup. It's Ryder
Yeah.
Cup week.
Yeah, it is.
As an American golf fan, we left Italy 2 years ago with our tail between our legs.
Yeah.
Still not quite sure why Fowler gave him that putt on the last hole. It
Yeah.
was the longest gimme I've ever seen, especially to hand the
Yeah.
Ryder Cup. I'm still to this day don't know what Ricky was thinking. But yeah, Ryder Cup. It's one of the best traditions in golf. I love hearing the fans. Europeans always play well. They seem to
Mhm.
really rise to that match
Yeah,
play
they do.
occasion where the Americans don't. They
Mhm.
seem to like lose their game a bit, which is an interesting dynamic.
Right.
But and I think the fact that it's going to be in New York is just going to be bonkers. That the New York crowd can get pretty riled up.
Mhm.
So and then I think Bethpage is a difficult course too. So I'm sure they've got the rough about knee high, and the greens are probably a
Mhm.
14 on the stimp. So should see. I'd say we see a lot of conceded holes because I
Yeah.
think we're going to have a lot of folks in the rough and chopping out and um, I'm just looking forward to rooting on Team USA. So let's
Yeah,
go
that's
get them.
awesome. Yeah, let me, I hope that the guy who designed that T-shirt with for the USA with Rory's image on it, I sure hope he's hunting for a job right now. How hilarious is that? Where you put in the background like the swing image, and it happens to be Rory, who's playing for Team Europe on the
Uh-huh.
USA T-shirt. So classic fumble on that one. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I've kind of made it known to the family that my weekend will be in front of the television watching Ryder Cup. So it's going to be some dad time. Uh, yeah. So for me in the gimme section, I was recently fitted for a lab putter because everybody knows if you buy new clubs, your score goes down. That's just the rules of golf. And so I was looking for like an interesting. I wanted to do like the full kind of fitting, I guess, for lab and lab out there. For those who don't know, the Lionel Balance putters, they have for their fitting like a really cool kind of fitting putter that'll change. You can unscrew and lengthen and change your lie angle. So I went down to the local golf tech and they had just got some of their lab equipment with the putters and stuff like that. So that was a cool experience. It took me about an hour to do a fitting, and I was really hoping to have it for our Bandon trip, but apparently everybody had the same idea, and we're all going after lab putters. So my lead time's like 8 weeks. So I don't think it's going to be there.
Damn.
So built-in excuse right off the bat. I don't have my putter. There's nothing I can do about it. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I got the new Oz. Actually, didn't get the one with the heel shaft. I got the center shaft. I just kind of thought it was for me. It was probably my favorite, and I like the custom design, the coloring, the lines you put on there for lining up your ball. It's really neat. So good experience overall, and I'm excited that it's coming. Hopefully before Christmas. That's kind of what I'm hoping. So yeah, I don't know what you know
Really,
about Lab, Eric. You ever played around with it?
never. I mean, started seeing some pros hit them. Seems like every YouTube golfer out there
Yep.
now uses a lab
Yeah.
putter. So uh, it must be a good flat stick, but no, haven't hit one. Maybe I'm looking forward to getting a chance to check yours out when we play. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So did we get a final tally on what we're gonna score Hunter's Ranch here out of 100?
no, we didn't.
No,
So
perfect.
we'll pause and
Yeah,
then
for sure.
we'll circle back with our final score. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Back after this break, and we're back
All right, we some basic
after some
math.
after yeah, and double checking, triple checking our work, giving it to the auditors for a glance over. We came back with what, Richie?
We gave Hunter's Ranch a 63 out of 100. Yeah, I'm not.
63. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was expecting
key
more actually.
takeaways. Uh, yeah. I mean, not having the cart. Maybe we'll have to figure out whether that's an NA or something. But no,
Sure.
the cart service is just. I mean, it's not. We're not at Augusta here, right?
Right.
This is an inspiring resort course. You gotta have a cart service.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree. You
Um,
should see at least a couple
so yeah,
times.
63. The greens are the feature.
Hmm.
The practice facility is definitely hurting it. The no greens or the no cart service. Food, clubhouse food or the dining room food is solid. Clubhouse is good.
Yeah.
Some great views. Tough course. If your driver's not on, good luck.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to be having a very fun day.
Yeah.
Uh, Overall, too, the course wasn't packed. I don't
Sure.
think we waited, nor was anybody rushing us. Maybe a little
Yeah.
bit. I don't remember.
I don't
Did we
remember
get hit
really
into
seeing a
like
lot
one
of
hole? Maybe.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe,
I
but
think
like
we might
not
have.
not.
I think someone hit into us once, but so we're getting a little pressure. Maybe that's why we also wanted to do scramble in the back. So,
Yeah.
but uh, but yeah, overall 63 Hunters Ranch, Paso Robles, Central Coast, California. If you're from SoCal, definitely make the drive up north. If you're from the Bay Area, get down there. It's a nice break from Napa. Paso is a nice place overall. You're not too far from Morro Bay, the coast, which we'll get into next time.
Yeah.
So with that, Richie,
Awesome.
uh, take take us away.
Yeah, Eric, thanks everybody for joining us. I am looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks at Bandon Dunes, man. It's going to be a good trip. All right. That's it for here. Grading the Greens, everyone. Tell your friends about us. We're looking for 5 fans by the time we come back. All right. We'll talk to you later, everyone. Bye.
All right, later.